to order. Please join me in the salute to our flag and nation. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, welcome to the November 28th Hollister Airport Advisory Commission. Roll call.
Chairman Machado.
Here.
Vice Chairman Houston.
Here.
Commissioner Judd.
Here.
Meyer.
Yeah.
Sunseri.
Here.
Martinez.
Here.
And I am here, and it's noted that Commissioner Scatini is absent.
Verification of agenda posting.
The agenda for the Airport Advisory Commission of City Hollister meeting of November 28, 2018 was posted on the bulletin board of City Hall on November 19th at 10 a.m. per Government Code Section 54954.2.
Consent agenda approval of the minutes of Airport Advisory Commission meeting of October the 24th. Any questions?
I make a motion that we pass the minutes as stated.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Public input. Anybody in the audience would like to address the commission?
Ruth Erickson.
Surprise, surprise.
Should be no surprise because I don't speak very often. Okay. I was reading about Gustine Airport, little tiny airport, with a special arrangement with Tesla. And they're making $150 a day, no, an hour, for use of the airport. And I wondered if we could get some company to pay that kind of money to this airport to be using our airport so we could build up our funds. Sorry?
What?
What are they using it for? Well, you have a straight run without any traffic. Tesla cars. Electric cars. No, but they found a way of doing it. $150 an hour. Not too bad. So is there something that we could be making money on with a company? Think about it.
Thank you. Okay, item 7, reports. Airport Improvement Program Rehabilitation Runway 13-31.
That one's on hold till April, so nothing to report. The next activities in April on that.
Okay. Building Improvement Restaurant, Old Navy Brig.
So that project's moving along. The City Council directed staff to issue a request for qualifications to find somebody to go in there. We had one qualifying response, and at the last City Council meeting, they directed us to enter into lease negotiations with that company. So we are currently in lease negotiations with that company. As far as the project itself goes, we will have our stuff buttoned up by the end of next week, but we are still waiting on 3 outside contractors to finish up stuff that's not being handled by us, and that's the hood, the plumbing, and the roof. But as far as all the stuff that the city is doing will be done by the end of next week.
So is the negotiations with the new people favorable?
They seem to be going well.
So I mean it's a positive.
Yes. I apologize. I have bronchitis, so I may cough.
Well, who's negotiating with? You?
Yeah, I'm your negotiator.
Good.
Are there any questions?
Is this a local company?
They are.
Okay, good.
Any other questions? Item C, AIP 20, Airport Improvement Program, taxiway plans.
Had a progress meeting with Kimberly Horn, who's doing the design work today, and things are going well. We have new challenges to overcome that we haven't had before in any of our projects, because this is the first time we're putting down new pavement. So we have some water quality issues that we're going to need to address with this project, and we're working through those. It's a little more challenging at the airport to address these water quality issues because, as you all know, the entire airport is clay, and one of the ways that we address the issues that we need to address is to have it infiltrate, and it doesn't infiltrate through clay. So it's an engineering challenge that we're working on. Additionally, we went over a few fine-tuning things, and then we may be able to do some things in other places to make things a lot more convenient, but I don't want to talk about it because I don't want to get anybody's hopes up. So, to be continued. We'll know more later.
Any questions of the commission? Okay, D, Fire Station number 3.
Fire station number 3 is up and running. They're living in it. My public works staff recently completed the frame of the parking structure for the fire trucks. As soon as the weather clears enough that I can get people up in the air on equipment without it being a safety issue, we'll get the skin on that garage and that project will be done.
Is that being manned now 24 hours?
It is.
Is that fiber optic cabling all completed now?
It's 99% complete. They just, the people that actually do the splicing and the tie-in need to come in and take care of that. But all our work is done.
Okay.
Any other questions about the fire station? E, TPA change, traffic pattern altitude or attitude.
Still pending a response from the FAA. So nothing new.
So, is it the FAA or is it the state or the FAA that makes this decision?
I thought the email was we filed a 5090 with the FAA.
Well, okay. I just somehow recalled you mentioning it was the state that established the.
The state updates the 5090? Maybe we filed it with the state.
I don't know.
I'm sorry. I don't feel well at all.
All right. I'll talk to you later. Thank you.
Any other questions? F, skydive.
So, as some of you know, Skydive is currently working through the county planning process to designate some property in unincorporated San Benito County as additional jump zone. This property is down at the corner of 156 and San Felipe Road. It's there used to be a ramp that carried you onto those two, and then at some point they made it a 90-degree corner, and it's that property between those areas. CAL FIRE is involved, and they are working with skydiving on the application, and skydiving is working to accommodate CAL FIRE's needs. Last I knew, it was working its way through the planning process. I know the fire department reviewed it and had some comments also.
So is that on the northeast side of San Felipe?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
It's
on
isn't
the
the
south side of
southeast
152?
corner?
That is correct.
southeast corner of that intersection, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Because I was flying over that area trying to figure out where the heck it was there a couple of weeks ago. I didn't have a clue. That's pretty close to the airport.
It is. That's what their goal is.
Yeah.
Is that typical if you took off to the north, you'd make a right-hand turn if you're going south?
No, you make a
Not-
right south if you're going east.
Not typical. Typical is left turn. The only time they do right-hand turns is if you're going over to the valley.
Right,
And normally you're well north of that before you make the turn.
right.
Oh, okay.
Normally.
Just a kind of a side question, and we don't have to, you don't have to answer it right now, but is there any advantage to having them so close by
I'm normally
Yeah, on that corner?
before I make
as a
for
For
on
that
156.
purpose? Yeah.
yeah, they quicker turnaround so they
Okay,
can.
but for the city,
The city, once again, we are not able to
Normally flat.
comment
okay.
because if we do comment, then we lose our grants.
Yeah.
It is an approved aeronautical activity,
Okay.
and I appreciate the fact that they are working closely with CAL FIRE to prevent a public safety issue from occurring. And I encourage them to work with CAL FIRE to prevent a public safety issue from occurring. But once again, if we want to continue with the federal AIP program, we cannot say no.
Okay, gotcha. Thank you.
When do they anticipate it to be approved? Do you have any idea?
I do not.
Does that eliminate the current landing zone?
I don't know. I don't know what their plan is with the other site.
That's the same company that would be utilizing?
It's the same company that's utilizing it now. I believe that property is leased out in Tres Pinos that they're jumping on, so I would imagine if they got a new site that they would not be continuing both, but
Any other questions? Okay, 7G, NBAA 2018.
So Cheryl and I represented the airport at the 2018 National Business Aviation Association, and the Hollister Jet Center joined us there, representing the airport also and Hollister Jet Center. And we couldn't have done it without them, honestly, because two people to work that event is just too few. It took all of us to make it happen. It was a good event. We made some good contacts, I believe. We had a good booth location, I think, for the first time. We actually had a really good one. The only issue was a hurricane went through Florida about a week before the event, so the attendance of the event was down about 40%, would be my guess. So, but the people that were there saw us, and we conversed, and we're following up with a few people from that event.
Where was it located?
The event, it was in Orlando.
So are the people in attendance more regional?
There are more East Coast people that go to the Florida event than the Vegas event. Vegas event is more of a West Coast, but in reality, our market's more the East Coast people, because when they fly across the country, they're looking for a place to land, rather than the people that are based in this area that aren't looking to fly 2 airports down with their expensive aircraft. So we'll still advertise it both, but the East Coast one, to me, is the one that makes more sense to get our name out at, because they're more likely to avail themselves of our services. Several.
Okay, any other questions on 7G? Nope. 7H, exploded ordinances.
So during our installation of the fiber optic line for the Hollister Fire Department, many of you are aware we dug up a live Navy training practice bomb It's about a 18-pound lead casing, has a modified shotgun shell in there that basically is twice the size of a shotgun shell. And then the really kind of scary part is then they packed in phosphorus for a marker. Phosphorus is pretty nasty stuff once it gets burning. So we had to have the bomb squad out. They addressed the issue with the unexploded ordnance. After that, as you're aware, I went to council, and because the plan is next year to do improvements at the dog park with a new irrigation system and to replace the dirt and put squirrel wire down and all this work, which is going to require excavating the entire park. So out of abundance of caution, because we're going to do that work, and we did that, we went ahead and did a radar survey, a ground penetrating radar survey of the park. There were 5 targets that were located after that survey that needed further examination. 2 of the targets were about 10 foot square, and they were just inside both gates of the dog park. We figured those were buried tanks, not army tanks, but like septic tanks. And then there were 3 other targets not inside the dog park, out in the park area, 2 of which were in a line like it was a fenced line on the property line, and 1 of which was very suspect. So we had the bomb squad back out. We excavated all 5 of them. 2 of them were fence posts. 1 of them was a concrete with metal reinforced Christie box cover, so like a water meter cover box lid. And then the 2 large areas were just a large amount of iron in the soil. There were no tanks. So the dog park's been cleared. Everything's wonderful. Drama's over.
Any questions?
Yeah, on the renovation of the dog park, is that coming out of the airport fund?
No.
No? And they're just going to put all new grass down and stuff like that?
Yes.
Oh.
Is it grass?
Grass.
Any other questions? Nope. Old business? Nothing. New business? Nothing. Items for the next agenda? Are there any of the above items to be carried over?
Let's see.
I'd say the restaurant, 7B. We'll probably get an update on how the fire station's doing.
Well, and I think the taxiway plans, it sounds like we still need that. I mean, that's B, or C. B, C, D, and E. And F. B, C, D, and F?
Yeah.
And the reason for leaving A on the report was to, so that it didn't get lost in the shuffle. So I don't know if you want to just put it down in old business to let it hang out down there.
Which one's that? I'm sorry.
The airport improvement
Oh,
program,
okay.
7A.
B, C, D, E, and F.
You know, we just don't want to lose sight of that.
Any new business? Oh, no, I'm sorry.
Any new topics?
We passed it already.
New business will probably be who's who.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
I suppose I still have my trailer question.
Oh, yeah, that's still,
We'll talk about that later.
I can add a few more things to that, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Let me tell you how I spent an hour this afternoon.
Okay. We'll skip it this time.
So,
Says council will make appointments to the airport commission late December or January.
Oh,
I would probably guess it'll be in January.
Yeah.
On the restaurant, is there going to be anything on the city council meetings about that?
Probably the lease at the end,
Okay.
but actually maybe not even that. We'll see. It's not like it's an existing facility, so it may not even. Yeah, we may be done with that.
You only have one person interested?
Yes, we handle. Yeah.
Okay.
So I got a question. Is this for a December meeting, or are we going to skip December? Because if it's for a January meeting, should we?
We're skipping December
All right.
because it's the day after Christmas.
So then we got something about either swearing in of the 5.
Yeah, so
Whatever.
that
Should be
would
on
be
there.
included in the January meeting for the swearing in of whoever's getting sworn in, and then the 2 county seats continue for January, and I guess you make a plea at that meeting and then get sworn in February.
Okay. So we'll sit out January. Is that it?
No, I don't think you set it out
Oh.
till they decide.
Well, anyway, it should probably somehow be on the agenda.
It will be.
Okay.
Okay, action items? I don't know what the difference is.
An action item is something that we're going to have to do.
Yeah, but the next agenda item would be
What-
also an action. I mean, it seems like there's an overlap there.
I don't know how that got on there.
Okay, if there's no action items, the next meeting is January the 23rd. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay, entertain a motion to adjourn.
I make a motion that we adjourn this meeting.
I second it.
Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right,
Is that Fred?
so be it.